Welcome friends to the new episode of Beth Haimanuta. Have you ever wondered why Jesus, who is so loving and merciful, spoke to the Syro-Phoenician women in such a harsh way, calling her and her people dogs? This episode is recorded in the Gospel of St. Mark chapter 7 verses 24 to 30 and in the Gospel of St. Matthew chapter 15 verses 21 to 28. A Gentile woman from the region of Tyre and Sidon approaches Jesus, begging him to heal her daughter, who is possessed by a demon. Jesus' initial reply is strikingly harsh. It is not fair to take children's bread and throw it to the dogs. This metaphor raises a critical exegetical and theological questions. Why would Jesus speak in such a way, seemingly contradicting his compassion elsewhere? Here the two words, children and dogs, are used as metaphor. The word children refers to the people of Israel, the covenant people of God, which we find reference in the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verses 22, and in the Gospel of St. Matthew 10, verses 5 and 6. The word dogs was a common Jewish idiom used for Gentiles, often derogatory, reflecting Jewish-Gentile hostility, which we find reference in the letter to the Philippians, chapter 3, verses 2, and in the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verses 15. Saint Mark uses a Greek term, kinarion, which means little dog or pet dog, rather than the word kion, which means a wild scavenger. This suggests a mitigated image, not outright an insult, but nevertheless a diminutive secondary status. Many saints like Saint Chrysostom say that Jesus wanted to test her faith. He wanted to see whether she would keep believing or give up. Jesus said, "It is not fair to take children's bread and throw it to the dogs." She replied, "Yes, Lord, even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." Her answer was full of humility and trust. Because of her strong faith, her daughter was healed. The early Christian teachers saw a deep meaning in this story. Origen said, "The woman represents the non-Jewish people who later received God's grace." Saint Augustine said, "Her humility was her strength. She accepted her place but still trusted in God's presence." So, when Jesus called her a dog, it wasn't to insult her, but it was a lesson in faith for her, for the disciples, and for us. Far from putting her down, Jesus lifted her up, and she became a model of faith, which even surprised the faith of disciples. In the end, this story is not about rejection. It's a story of faith which never gives up and still relies on God's mercy. Thank you.